Yeah. All right. Welcome to my mind video, part four here. We're going to be going over October 14th and October 15th price actions. So on my Twitter and in my group, you guys know that I caught October 10th, Thursday candle down to the downside. I wound up closing that for about 350 points, but missed out on a lot of potential downside for that day there. And I was anticipating a daily bearish imbalance to be created. So I'm gonna mark it here for you guys. I anticipated this to get created, and I'll keep it so you can, have visuals on it. So with this being created, I had a bearish mindset. So coming into today, or not today, but coming into October 14th, we have specific levels that we always have marked. So we have previous high, and then previously low. So we're going to drop down to the 30-minute time frame and go to New York session. So here in New York session, right, we have price take out previous day low, and I'll show you guys a setup that I usually like to take if we have something coming down like that. We have easy target to target here, and you start down to a 1 minute time frame. You see price reclaims a key level, have a bounce here. So for me, a trade would be long in here on this candle. Once I start to see this get bought up, I'm going to anticipate. Now, I won't go full size because I'll be looking to add inside of here. So this will be invalidation. The fact that if this doesn't hold, then I would invalidate it. Now, I'm not using any hard stop because I'm looking for body close outside this imbalance. So as long as price wicks inside of here, I will stay in the trade, and then I'll target something like this. That's almost a 5 bar trade. Easy trade there to take. But say you don't catch that, you don't want to chase price. So we're going to continue to watch. We're going to look at, see how price reacts here at this low. Now, if price can get above here, then we'll see price move up a little bit higher. So let's see. So right now, price is bullish. Price taps into this 5 minute imbalance. At this point here, I can buy this, and I can use a stop, something like here, and then my target will be, I just gonna look left and see where could price have a magnitude around this low here. So right now here, right, obviously depending on your account, if you trade in micros or you trade in minis, it needs to be sized accordingly to your account. So what we're seeing here is, right, we go to the 5 minute time frame. Why are we long? Why we're not trying to short this? Because structure is showing us that we are bullish. So we broke above this low here, had displacement, made a higher high by breaking this high. This was the lower high that got put in before we had to move down. Grab liquidity down here, moved up higher, moved up above this high. I mean, above this low here, broke above this high. So we probably potentially can see higher. Personally, I know that we're going here more than likely. and but that's not enough of a RR for me. So I would prefer to get something like 884. So let's keep watching here. Price is dropping down. So potentially this could be a liquidity grab here, and then this could be a safe low, but we have to see the reaction and see. Price breaks down there. Now, once price is doing this here, right, we want to be checking the higher time frames, and we want to be anticipating a bullish imbalance to be created because this is what's going to confirm or conform some type of order flow for us. Price breaks down some more there. Now here in this instance, I'm not using this hard stop because I'm anticipating this to create a higher low. Now I'm not gonna get stopped out of this because what's gonna be true invalidation if we get below here or if I see price not getting another bullish candle from either this candle or one or two more candles from now. So we get there. Now, what are we going to anticipate? A bullish imbalance to be formed. That's a nice there. So let's see if on 1124 candle we can have a bullish imbalance. Not yet. Still grinding. Get a bearish candle there. But again, we'll be checking higher time frames. I'm not going to move it here. We're going to stay on a 1 minute time frame, but in real time, we will be checking higher time frames. So as I would put out in my group, I would tell them to mark 1125 high because above here we will see momentum above here. So nice candle there, right? So we can add more into this here. Now we're looking for price to get tapped up here and see continuation above. Now, what do we want to see here? A bullish imbalance on the 1135 candle potentially. Nice. So we get that there. And then we see if we get some continuation. Price taps down to the imbalance. We expecting the higher low to be created. Let me delete this level. So we have a low, higher low, higher low. Long as this low is safe, then we should be fine. Price comes down a little bit. Still anticipating price to move up higher. So once price breaks these highs right here, so this high specifically, this becomes a safe low. So you can see structure here, how it looks very bullish here. Get a nice little candle above there. Now you can manage your trade how you want to from this point. We got in entry 740, maybe about 50 points into profit almost. So I'm going to be watching this reaction here. This is going to be important. As long as price is above here, I want to see price, if it were to retest this level, to bounce here. If price fails to bounce here, then I close the trade. There's no reason for price to get a body close below here and for me to stay in the trade. So At this point, risk free, it's going to be a winning trade regardless. People ask, oh, well, how do you continue to hold? This is what I do. And this is what I'm showing. Like, oh, well, you don't take any partials. I don't have to. Like, I can manage my full position. I understand if we get the buy close below here, I'm out. Simple as that. Why take a partial if I have full confidence on where price can potentially go to? Now, I could partial here at 814.50 for sure, but that's not what I do. I'm showing you guys what I do. Now, when you're building cushion on your account, yes, you should. I tell people all the time, take partials, trail, and profit. Do what you need to do to grow your account. So I would put out to my group, like mark 1153 high. I expect continuation above there. So here, right, what do we anticipate for price to bounce? We go to the 5 minute time frame. We're in a 5 minute imbalance. Uh, what we see there. At this point here, there's one or two things that you can do here. Allow this to be one more last liquidity grab. And if price, you like as you back test, you guys will see this, but if price is to ever come back down to this low, immediately after it has to run away from it. And or this should be your stop from now on. It shouldn't come back to this low, ideally. But if it did and you have cushion to be able to risk it, then allow it to be a liquidity grab. If it closes below, let the hope go. It's not going to go anywhere. So we get a nice push above there. Nice. And then we're looking for our target to be hit. And then perfect. That's ideal trade. Exactly how I would trade this over 100 points on there. Right. And delete this here. So I'm going to continue to mark the structure though. So this is the higher low here, right? Keep watching. And then this is going to be a higher low here. All right. So go to the 5 minute time frame. We were looking at what level, right? We were looking at here, 883 to be hit, which we did. So above here, what could we see? Potentially this high, but previous a high level tap is what I'm gonna focus on because that's a key level. So you start to see price get a little consolidation here. I always pay attention to points like this, right? Because this is consolidation. It's either gonna break down to the downside or to the upside. We don't know, but we will see. So I'll drop down to the 1 minute time frame and see can I see any structure being created? So what do we see? We see a high, a lower high, a lower high, and it's ranging. So what's going to be the actual shift for price? This low here, 1301 low will be our shift. Keep watching. So we avoid all of this chop there. Avoid all of that. All of this chop here. So we can continue to mark lower highs, but there's no continuation. Okay. So here, potentially we could start a position here because price is breaking down of this little micro range here. So you really want to be very technical behind it, and with experience, you can start to focus on things like this, but don't confuse yourself. This is a micro range inside of a bigger range, right? And the high and low of this range was this high and this low of this range inside of that range. And we can get in on a quick trade there, and then you get the drop, right? You get that anticipation down below there, right? So you see how we identified that because we have that 883 level, which was important, correct? And we have that micro range inside of a larger range. Now I could do a video on that, um, but for more experienced people, because this is going to confuse people with less experience, and you don't really need that to catch a move like this. But it does give you that influence. So you get all these most recent higher lows to be tagged. So we break down below there. Then we see this. And then we delete that. I don't know. Anyway, you get below here, and then you see how price reacts. And just ride that wave to the end of close. So see how prices continue to drop down. Where could price drop down to? Potentially this breaking out point here. See if we can hit. Okay, then be out. And that would be that day right there. Easy, easy trade. Hold on 1 second now. Okay, so that would be the end of October 14th, right? So let's clear our charts. Any questions, y'all, post in the comments or hit me up on Twitter or the chat, the Discord. Mm. Okay, so we would look at previously high, previously low, coming into Wednesday, October 15th, and then we're gonna go ahead and go to New York session here. Okay, cool. So right here, you can see we have, excuse me, previously high and previously low. Going to the 5 minute time frame. And here on this day, I was looking for only shorts. I was not looking to long this whatsoever. So we can see our price broke above these lows here, which on the lower time frame, if I go back down and look at it, I can show you guys the setup. Once price breaks above there, you can see rejection, 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 rejection. And then you can see even down here, price breaks this low. Personally, if I was longer, I could have loaned this candle here and just use this as my stop and targeted this high, and then so forth, right? But when we got above 984, oh, let me go back to the 30-minute time frame here. So here at this point, we have 160, and then we have our 044.25 key level, which is previous AI, up down to 15. So what you're looking for price to get below 044.25. Now, what I will show you on the daily that I focused on, that was a important level for me. And occasionally I use things like this because I tried short twice this morning and didn't work out for me. So therefore, I was still short biased, but I knew I would need displacement below this level here. And when I get that, then you guys will see. So go back down, go back up to the 5 minute time frame. So this level here is important because this is the midpoint of the daily imbalance. And you'll see how price adds at that level. So as price continues up higher, people are looking at the 5 minute and be like, okay, maybe we're bullish because we can respect these. Because we are inside of a daily imbalance, because I'm bearish, because I have my bias, I am anticipating for all this to be broken. Now, what do you ask yourself? What's the draw for price? Right? For this leg up here, at least down to there, to here, this 85.75. Obviously, as I put out in my group, we have this low, this low. We have other little levels, but to keep it simple for you guys here, 685.75. Excuse me. So let's continue to watch for a setup. So how do we identify a setup here? So you can see as price is so bullish, but look at the lack of continuation. Now, what you would expect for on a 5 minute time frame, you would expect price to not be consolidating here, moving down and bouncing inside of here, and then going to go make a higher high and continue up higher. But you don't want consolidation here and then move down. You don't want that. You want a little bit of move here and then a flush down and then get bought up and then continue up higher is what you would ideally want. So we can see here, same thing that we talked about earlier, a range. So what's the key point in this range here? 1014 low, which we talked about today in the chat. That is what we needed. This is our shift. So until we break below there, then we don't want to short. So as we see here, once we start to mark structure, right? What do we have? We have a high, we have a lower high, And let's see. Potential lower high here, but we need to break that low to see first. Okay, so that will be a liquidity grab. So you can see here, like this is where a lot of people get confused at because they're long in, they're short in, they see this bearish imbalance, they don't know what to do. We don't do anything until this 10, 10, 14 1 minute low is broken. Okay. Now at that point here, this is when we want to short. So I'm short on my position here. And this imbalance should keep us down. No ifs, ands, buts about it, but we are getting a little bit of insight on what price can do from this point. So what are we expecting? We're expecting a lower high to be put in. Here at this point, once price gets below previous AI, where do we see below 044.25? We see 0 025.50, which you guys will see that I posted it on Twitter and on my chat. So we want to watch reaction here because below here we can really see a flush, which H9 897, and you'll see that like all of my chat, all of my Twitter, these is exactly what I looked for, right? So we continue to see price break down a little bit, moves up just a tad, but as I say, if we look at the higher time frame, which I'm not going to switch because I want to focus on watching price action here, but you always look at multiple time frame analysis, always 5, 15, 30 if you need to, whatever you need to ease your mind and find that narrative or confirm it. So price is breaking down. We want to see displacement below all these lows here, right? You want to see that displacement below. Cool, we get that. You get that bearish imbalance. That's exactly what you expect. And we we're below 025.50, and then you want to see continuation to 897, right? So we continue to see this, and then I'll go to a 5 minute time frame here. Look at all these bullish imbalances being invalidated. Any pullback, I am willing to hold lower because if price is going to move up higher on such a strong move to the upside this morning, why do we not respect any of these imbalances? That's a telltale sign of how weak this is. So then we start to anticipate, well, okay, we're targeting 897, but where could it go below 897? We can go to this high, 855.75 below there. And you can pick what levels you want. You could have picked this level, you can pick this level, you can pick this level. Up to you, whatever you want to try to target. All these are points of targets for price. I don't have to have all these lines on my charts, but all these are points of targets for price, right? So we're going to be focusing on the reaction at 897. So cool. Once we get that reaction at 897, then you go to, I mean, sorry, you go up to the lower time frame, and then you see if we can continue to hold and ride this wave down even lower. So we're gonna go to a 5 minute time frame. Because we invalidated these bullish imbalances, we expect these bearish imbalances that invalidate the bullish imbalances to be respected, right? And then you're going to see displacement below 1150 5 minute low. right? You've already had, excuse me, a shift on a lower time frame for price. Once we get below 897, we really see a flush because that would be our 5 minute shift. So here at this point, you can just cover right above here as your stop. So price gets a flush down below, which is what we expected. And all these targets are getting hit. So once 685 is taken out, then I'm out. Once 685 is taken, I'm out. That is how easy that trade was there. We had our 1 minute shift, we have our 5 minute shift. So we had flush below our 1 minute shift, we have flush below our 5 minute shift there. Here at this point, once price starts to create structure here, then I can look for potentially long. I'm not going to short anymore because I'm already out of my short. If I went to short more, I would have held my short. So we have a low, higher low, and once price breaks this high, I start getting to my position. Start to see price break up. See if we can create a higher low. Once price breaks that high, I will add more. See, once price breaks that high, I add more. And then what do I look to target? That low there, right? This would be an easy magnet for price. And this is just playing with price at this point because we've already caught the major lead down. Just looking to catch the retracement. So price hits our magnet for price. Now at this point, you can continue to just trail price here at this point. Above here, we can potentially see that high there, right? 1355. So here at this point, right? This is important. So you have this high and you have this low. In this trade here, if we break below 1403 low, I'm out. What I anticipate is displacement above 1400 high. So take out that high, but no displacement. So let's see if this can be a low, higher low, and potentially get bought up and then break that high to be a higher high. So price continues to break up higher. See if we can see 993.25. I ideally want to see price bounce here, ideally. But here at this point, you have opportunity. That can be a liquidity grab, or if you get a body close below, then we close. So price starts to break down there, and then I'm out. No reason to keep holding that because price is consolidating. There's lack of continuation. That's where the bullish momentum starts to die down at that point. It's really just not worth it at this end, like towards the end of the day, like this. It's really not worth it. Just, take your money, get up out of there. So hopefully this helped for you guys. I like to keep my charts pretty clean for the most part, but a lot of this stuff is just for you, for your visual purposes. Otherwise, my charts are pretty clean. Um, I will do like a quick little synopsis for tomorrow, right? So Time frame. Like, you guys got any questions, just let me know. But so we have previous day high, previous day low going into tomorrow. Okay, so 30-minute time frame. Oh, sorry, let me just delete all that stuff. Okay, so coming into tomorrow, we have our previous day high, previous day low. Then we're gonna have our key levels. So 947.25 will be our key level. And essentially draw for price 421 if we can overnight. If we do get above 947, then we see previously high. And if we can break down and get back below 947, I'd be looking previously low and potentially 421. That's pretty much how my chart will be set up, right? For the most part. Key level, previously high, previously low, and then a drop of price. But yeah, so hopefully this helped. And if you guys want more of these videos, comment, like, share, message me on Twitter or Discord.